Welcome back to Championship Court for our final gold medal match of Championship Sunday as we take a look at our Vlasic Pickles mixed doubles bracket, and the duo of Daria Walczak and Patrick Kawka. They were electric moving through the top half of the bracket. They'll be facing the heavily favored Johnson siblings. But as we saw earlier this week, Dom, no seed is safe from the duo of Walczak and Kawka.
No, Walczak and Kawka have played really well all weekend. Coming through qualifiers, putting pressure on. There's going to be no mistaking what they want to do. They want to play fast. They want to play with pace. Here's the thing. You're playing against a very good JW Johnson and Georgia Johnson team that are going to try and slow them down, and I think they are going to be able to. So it's going to be what can Kawka and Walczak do to make that adjustment when they do get slowed down.
Yeah, if we take a look at some of the play from earlier in the week, again, it's the power from Patrick Kawka. Daria is there to add power as well, but it was the presence of Kawka in the middle of the court that really kept the pressure on. And they faced match point against Braverman and Taddeo to get here to championship point.
Yeah, they were tested a little bit going into that, but again, came out on top. Again, their power is next to none.
On the other side of the net, it is the Johnson siblings, JW Johnson, Georgia Johnson. Georgia in line for a triple crown potentially after winning a gold medal in women's doubles and women's singles. Johnson's to serve first. They are in the white tops in black shorts at the bottom of the screen. At the top of the screen, Kawka and Walczak, as Kawka puts it into the net to start. They are in the black tops and gray bottoms.
Well, the Johnsons aren't going to be fazed by the power. And they have power of their own. JW and Georgia both so good at reaching in and speeding that ball up.
Side out. Nice court coverage there from Kawka.
Yeah, well, Georgia is trying to speed that up right there. Unnecessary at that moment from the transition area, feeding right into their game.
0-1-1.
Just a little long.
JW is like, yeah, I'm just going to drop the right shoulder there. Not even going to try to put a paddle on it. The ball's out. But
0-1-2.
So Walczak and Kawka are going to find it difficult to come forward off that baseline and through the transition area if they can't get that ball down. Johnson's so good with their volleys.
ATP from Georgia.
Yeah, and like you said, Chad, it's going to be difficult for Walczak and Kawka if they're going to swing out of it. Their shoulder's going to need to be iced because Georgia and JW are going to get everything back.
Point.
Walczak getting too big at the kitchen line. 3 points to start the match here for the Johnson siblings. And in talking to Patrick Kawka prior to the match and asking what challenges the Johnsons presented, he goes, "You mean all of them?"
Second serve.
Little delayed there going to the backhand side there for JW.
3-0-2. Side out.
Able to earn the side out.
Yeah, good job there from Walczak getting the ball down below the knees.
Nice step over there from Kawka as he and Walczak get on the board.
Well, that's exactly what Kawka's going to do and he's going to want to do. He steps over, takes the first one, and then he continues to move over and close the ground as Walczak will slide in behind him. Just wide off the paddle of Georgia Johnson. And what we saw some success was from Braverman. Braverman moved the ball in and out. So she would go 1 or 2 to Walczak, then she'd go behind Kawka. And what they would do would keep him honest and not as big in the middle. Look for Georgia Johnson to take notes on doing that.
Helps when Jill Braverman is your women's doubles gold medal partner, as that catches some love off of the tape. We're tied at 3.
Yeah, that ball just a little too elevated, but yeah, like you were saying, Dom, if you want to keep an aggressive male player out of the middle of the court, you have to make him play on that backhand side.
Ooh,
Kawka says that's good.
he's like, that's a nice shot. It was going to hit him right in the face. He got his paddle up.
3-3-2.
Just missed the backhand roll side out. And Kawka and Walczak practiced just twice together prior to coming to Sacramento. This is a new pairing. They are in the qualifying draw in Miami as well.
Well, they'll gain some points after this one in Sacramento, that's for sure.
They should be sitting a little better for Del Rey moving forward.
Side out.
Service error from Georgia, side out.
She tried to cut it and take something off it and goes into the net.
3-3-1. Second
Elevated
serve.
ball right at the feet of Walczak as she got stuck in the transition zone.
George almost leaped to get on top of that and get that ball down, exaggerating.
Hands are just so good from the Johnson siblings.
Yeah, and the big part there was JW stepping over, taking that first volley, buying Georgia time to get up to the kitchen line.
You're really seeing both ends of the spectrum here with the Johnson siblings who have played together for so long and this new pairing of Kawka and Walczak who are still going through the feeling out process.
Side out.
That one didn't develop enough outside the post there for Georgia.
3-3-1.
Take another look at it. Tries to create just a little too sharp of an angle to get back into the court.
See, that's just not the spot for Georgia to go
take
to
that
right
behind
there.
him down the backhand.
Exactly, and all she's got to do is push that back down the line. She's trying to speed that up. Kawka's sitting dead red in the middle.
Kawka and Walczak with their first lead of the match at 4-3.
Second serve.
Not going to beat JW Johnson in a hands battle.
Even though that ball's elevated, Johnson's still thinking she's going to sneak that in the middle. Kawka's just still sitting there.
4-3-2.
She can't go to that spot.
Well, that's where we saw success against Patrick Kawka, is going to that left hip because he's looking for that forehand so much. Just a little bit crossbody is difficult to adjust to. Oh, tried it, but moved the body too much.
So far,
3-4-2.
Kawka and Walczak hanging tough against the Johnson siblings, the 2 seed in the tournament.
That's
Pushes that return long.
That one's on you.
Well, you know, sometimes that happens. 4-all here in game number 1. Now, don't forget, the Johnsons were tested in that match against Richard Liverneese Jr. and Amanda Hendry. Had to fight off 9 match points as they retake the lead.
And that's the spot there that JW just hit. Slides it across the body on Kawka.
5-4-2.
So difficult to transition from the forehand to the backhand when there's pace behind it.
Side out.
Side out.
I know Walczak has some power, but if I'm going to float a ball, leave it up, it's got to be to her. Can't be to Kawka. Kawka's going to hurt you. Right there, they left themselves with a chance.
And there, on cue, steps in and takes the forehand.
Yeah, again, it's Kawka looking big in the middle, trying to take over there with that forehand.
5-5-1.
They've got to find that backside.
Well, and that's one thing we haven't seen Georgia do yet is bounce a ball behind Kawka.
Second
Hands
serve.
battle goes the way of the Johnsons.
Find the backhand. Again, you got to get it out of his forehand.
5-5-2.
Too strong on the forehand, side out, tied at 5-all here in game number 1.
She knew what she wanted to do with it. The execution was just off a little bit. Rushed it. Give it a little too much height.
Kawka backhand winner.
He does hit the winner. He does finish this, but watch JW's shot. It went right to his paddle.
That one long. And talking about hitting the paddle, that's what Kawka said about the point that it was able to stave off match point against Tardio. He said, he hit it right on my paddle. I just got lucky there.
And that's the spot. Georgia makes that ball bounce on the backhand side of Kawka that ends up popping it up, and that allows JW to step in and apply that pressure.
And Johnson's starting to assert their will.
Yeah, and there's the communication right there. You see Georgia duck underneath the overhead right here of JW Johnson. Beautifully done. They take a lead.
Walczak and Kawka taking a timeout here in our final match on Championship Sunday here at the Sacramento Open. The next event on the APP Tour is the first major of the 2024 season. Join us in Miami for the Chase APP Miami Pickleball Open, March 19th to 24th. Check out the app.global for more information.
Yeah, we also have the Atlantic Cup going on during the Miami Open. Team USA versus Team Europe. I have the privilege of coaching Team USA, their first international team competition.
Atlantic Cup, it's our first major.
Lots of things to be excited
about. Lots of stuff going on in Miami. Why not? Why would you not have a lot of stuff going on in Miami, of all places,
at the convention center.
Right.
Indoors. No weather. Fantastic atmosphere.
It's going to be a great one. We will all be there. We hope to see you there as well. Wide open hold down the middle for JW.
They just didn't uncoil on the stack right there, did Kawka and Walczak. Got stuck. I've never seen Walczak on the left side.
Point.
Well, that's usually a strength there for Kawka. We saw that backhand flick a couple of times. This one just a little too wristy. Flicks that one down in the top of the net.
5 straight points for the Johnson siblings. They get 6 on the long return.
Johnson, timeout.
That is game 1, the way of the Johnsons. They take it 11-5. The 2 seed in control of the mixed doubles gold medal match. We will have game 2 coming up next here on Championship Court. It's the APP Sacramento Open on ESPN.
The Pro XR pickleball paddle answers the age-old question of how to get paddle speed and control with the same paddle and one grip, and this is it. Pro XR gives you more spin, greater control, and quicker reloads on every shot in the game, because you always have that constant feel for that leverage and control and paddle speed that we're all looking for. Pro XR is the most revolutionary technology in pickleball.
Typical insurance, you're just another senior.
That is the 3rd health insurance commercial with seniors at a farmer's market.
Right? Don't get me wrong, I love a fresh heirloom, but it's like those companies think we're all the same.
That's why I chose Humana. Before I signed up, I spoke to someone who actually listened to what I needed. She told me about benefits that were right for me, like vision and dental, all in my budget. I finally feel in control. What are you doing?
Taking control.
Humana, a more human way to healthcare.
Introducing Skechers Pickleball, the official footwear of the APP Tour. They're ultra lightweight and responsive for incredible speed. They have Goodyear rubber outsoles with a specialized pickleball design for increased side-to-side stability and agility. Plus, they feature shock-absorbing foam and Skechers' famous relaxed fit design for incredible comfort game after game. Conquer the court in comfort. Skechers Pickleball, the official footwear of the APP Tour.
Okay, all right, that's fine.
Welcome back to the APP Sacramento Open as we take a look at our fulfill raising the bar moment of the tournament. It was Susanna Barr and Eric Lang. Ridiculous point against Mari Hungberg and Brandon Long.
We talked about that one. It's the Lang setting the angle here on the ATP. Cross court, beautifully done. But we were talking, you and I, Chad, about if we had that much court and we were Susanna Barr, we'd miss that.
Missed it through the middle for sure.
So many tremendous moments throughout this tournament here in Sacramento as we are in our final gold medal match of the tournament, the mixed doubles final between the 2-seed JW and Georgia Johnson and Daria Walczak and Patrick Kawka. The Johnsons took game 1, 11-5. Walczak to serve here to start game 2.
Point. Little help from the net cord right there for Walczak as she's coming forward in transition.
1-0-2.
Nice spot there.
Placement there.
Yeah, Georgia Johnson go right down that line with that two-handed backhand.
Well, going cross court right there too. It gives a little too much reaction time for Johnson.
Second serve.
Good block there from Kawka.
0-1-2.
Jammed him right up in that right armpit.
JW finally stepping in and getting the better of Walczak.
Oh, just watching Walczak get down into that almost split position hurts.
Easy putaways for the Johnsons.
Such a good setup by Georgia Johnson. She goes behind Kawka, drops it to his backhand, gets up, then goes on the attack. Beautifully done by Georgia.
Great stab volley by Kawka, but still too much from the Johnsons at the kitchen line.
Well, Kawka was sitting there trying to anticipate when to pounce, and then he ended up getting one back just a little tight to the body.
And getting too big on the forehand side as the Johnsons have run off 4 straight points. They have a 3-point lead here in game number 2 as Kawka and Walczak take a timeout. And while they take a timeout, we're going to take a look at our Humana Human Care Spotlight. It recognizes Jennifer Henson. Jennifer has eagerly volunteered for many shifts as a pickleball match starter, staying before and after to help, as well as picking up extra shifts. In her own words, she said, "I have loved meeting all the players, the refs, the volunteers, and being an ambassador of positivity and sportsmanship on and off the courts." Thank you, Jennifer, for all of your hard work, and thank you to all of our volunteers that make this and every tournament on the APP Tour possible.
So what I think you're finding here in this matchup, let's go back to the match and what Kawka's made a couple mistakes, even on the forehand side right now. What happens is you have a team like JW and Georgia Johnson who get everything back, are so good. Yes. They can apply pressure. Kawka trying to be a little too perfect. He's not playing as loose as he usually would, so it's a little tighter right now.
4-1-2.
How much of that comes from experience?
It's just
quite a lot of it comes from experience, and you see it right there of the experience of the around the post defense, where they're recognizing as soon as that ball goes out wide, I'm going to drop back, defend it, then step back up and put the pressure back on.
Side out.
Uncharacteristic error there from Georgia. Side out.
So he has another opportunity to go behind Kawka right there, and she lets it drop just a little too much. She's got to get it a little earlier.
Oh, it's in. As is that.
Oh.
And is that. No. Kawka blowing it.
Point.
That's a little closer than I think he anticipated, too. That ball bounced maybe about 6 inches off of the line.
running
serve.
through the backhand. And those were shots that we didn't see Kawka miss, making their run through the draw.
Well, he was sitting there on the backhand side, knew that Georgia was going to go there, but the body movement with that causes him to be late.
Side out.
The backhand cut block from J.W. Johnson, it's so nonchalant, too. It is so difficult.
But that's what makes him fast.
Yes.
Is because he's calm with the rest of the body.
Point.
Another point for the Johnson siblings as they are in control of game number 2, up 6-2.
And that's what we saw a lot of from Kawka earlier on in the bracket, that backhand cross court.
6-2-2.
6-2-2. Just too big
You
for
cannot
Walczak.
get bigger as the exchange goes on trying to hit the ball harder. Because the Johnsons are going to get shorter and that ball's going to get on you quicker.
Point.
Misses the pickup.
Timeout
It's
receivers, 8-2-2.
8-2. Walczak and Kawka taking a timeout as we take a look back at the Gamma Live to Play rally of the match. Tremendous defense from the Johnsons. We talk so much about their offense, but defensively they are solid as well.
Yeah, I mean, their hands are too good, and Chad hits on it. You don't want to get bigger the later on in the hands battle. You want to get shorter and shorter. But look at the hands. Georgia Johnson getting that one back. Then she flips up another one. And then JW almost gets this next one back in. But as you said, Chad, Kawka over there blowing on the ball, trying to push it out even further.
Well, and that's part of it where we always talk about the offense and the power and everything that goes along with it. But the defense is so important as well. When you're making your opponent hit 3, 4, 5 more balls, there's so many chances for something to go wrong. And the Johnson siblings are just so good across the board in both offense and defense.
8-2-2.
The Johnsons inching closer to a gold medal. Already up 1 game and up by 6 here in game number 2.
Ooh,
Point.
just missed it. It was a little flat.
She didn't get enough roll on it right there. But again, in the middle of that point, J.W. Johnson with a cut backhand reset.
Point.
Off of the edge guard, and it brings up championship point for the Johnsons.
Too good right there on the counter from Georgia Johnson, catching Kawka, excuse me, on the backhand side.
Oh, it was there, but she jumped. A little too much body movement.
Kawka and Walczak live to
2-10-1.
fight another point, down 2-10-1. Easy
Second
put
serve.
away there for JW in the middle.
2-10-2.
Into the body of Walczak on the shoulder, side out. Another opportunity to take the gold medal here on the serve.
That's Patton J.W. Johnson right there with that little backhand wrist flick.
The winner from JW and the Johnsons, clinical in their gold medal victory. They take it 11-5, 11-2. It is a triple crown for Georgia Johnson as she captures the mixed double gold alongside brother JW.
Well, that last point there sums it all up. JW and Georgia know each other so well, obviously being siblings, but the movement, the understanding, they traded off attacking, and it was just paddles swatting, flying, balls going everywhere.
That last point was incredible and picture perfect for them. They are your gold medalists. We'll take a quick commercial break. Hear from JW and Georgia Johnson about this gold medal and Georgia Johnson taking home a triple crown right after this.
No, since I've been using Leo River, I've had way less problem on my AT band and hips. It has been really a game changer for me, so I highly recommend it to everyone.
That's what makes it so different. The whole idea about balanced compression, it improves your blood flow, reduces your fatigue. At the end of the day, you feel so much better.
I feel comfortable, I feel supported, I feel like I can train harder, train longer, recover faster, and feel supported while I'm playing. And that's so crucial for me, especially in singles when I'm trying to play against the youngest. I'm not the youngest out there, but I try and play against the youngest.
18 years from tonight, Grant Gill will become a legend when he totally kills it at his improv class's graduation performance. Knees will be slapped, suds will be sprayed. People won't know what hurts more, their cheeks or their sides. That's why he's already keeping himself in shape and razor sharp today with health tips and wellness tools from AARP to help make sure his health lives as long as he does. Because the younger you are, the more you need AARP.
When I have pain from arthritis, I grab BioFreeze. Unlike Voltaren, BioFreeze provides fast-acting relief. I can apply it to more areas of my body, and it's NSAID-free. Cool the pain, so I can get back on the court.
Back here on championship court, match point here for JW and Georgia Johnson. Chad, how do they get it done?
Yeah, we were talking about it before the break. You see JW and Georgia just exchanging attacks right there. Paddles going all over the place. Excellent job. Excellent pressure. And we're going to throw it down to Dorian Kraft, who is courtside with our Franklin post-match interview.
One more time, everyone, a round of applause for our mixed doubles gold medalists, Georgia and JW Johnson. Georgia also taking home the Triple Crown this weekend. She won a gold in every event that she played in. Georgia, we're going to start with the match in mixed doubles. We saw you there attack the backhand side of Patrick Kawka. What were you seeing there that you felt like you could really go after?
He was just playing big in the middle, and he's got a really strong forehand, so I was just trying to keep him honest over there, and he played a really tough match, and congrats to those two for silver.
JW, we talk so much about your all's offense, the power, the speed, how calm you are at the kitchen line, but your defense was phenomenal. That one where you kept getting the balls back. I know that one landed just outside the line, but what is it that allows the two of you to play such solid defense together?
Part of it is lucky. The other part of it is just drilling a lot, just practicing a lot of defense when we're back at home. Big part of it is drilling and then playing too. So that's it.
A big part of it's also you guys just being really good, too. Let's be honest about that. And then, Georgia, obviously the Triple Crown this weekend. You played so well. What did you love the most about your game and being out here at this tournament?
Just being here with, my team, and shout out to the JJ because I wouldn't be able to do it without them. My team right over there. My mom, Lily, Gabe Tardio, and speaking of drilling, that's what makes it all possible.
Now, you told me you wanted a shout-out. Was that the shout-out? Do you have another one?
All right. And thank you to my sponsors, Franklin and Chicken and Pickle. I appreciate you.
Well, thank you for the Johnsons to put on such a great mixed doubles match. Everyone, give it up one more time. Your mixed doubles gold medalist, Georgia Johnson, JW Johnson.
Well, JW and Georgia played great all weekend. Congratulations, Chad, really, especially to Georgia Johnson for that Triple Crown.
Yeah, fantastic performance from her with the Triple Crown. But with this one, we talked about it going into it, that the pace was not going to phase the Johnsons. Their defense, their hands, and their execution so good in this one, coming away with the gold.
Congratulations, Georgia JW, our golden here in Sacramento. We'll take a quick commercial break. Be back right after this for our final thoughts here at the APP Sacramento Open.